even in the midst of, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, God is like, he might throw in a little obstacle here and there, because one, if you're called to do it, obviously you're going to be able to do it.
Yes.
But you also have to remain focused on him. So if you feel like, oh, I'm called to do it, I got this. God, like, psych.
Right.
I got this, and I gave it to you.
Yeah. And I think that's a great point, because I think sometimes I do forget that. Because in the midst of you starting anything, you take it to God.
We are about to record. We're about to record
another great episode of the You're Done podcast. You're welcome.
Right.
I love that I can get dressed up, but I ain't gotta wear no shoes.
We are back for episode 7. Welcome back to the You're Done podcast. We're back to have some great conversations.
Yes.
We 7 weeks in, y'all. How y'all feel? Thank y'all for sticking with your girl.
I know y'all having back.
Fun. Like we said, where we be?
Yes. So I'm your host, Be More, Nevertheless.
And I'm your girl, or your other host, Big Desto, not the little one. I don't know why I be about to forget my name, but that's me. Hey, y'all. And you're tuning in to another episode. And today, I feel like we have a good topic today. Today is a good one. We are talking about the challenges of basically, what am I really doing? What am I doing?
Yeah.
Do I know what I'm doing? Some days I know what I'm doing. Some days I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I think just going with the flow.
For real, but it's not even like not knowing what you're doing, what you're not doing. It's that sometimes we're like in our situation. Like I feel like fitness is my thing.
Right.
And when those things are starting to bring on different challenges, I'm like, God, come on, okay, let's have a conversation. Because the math not mathing. We giving girl math, and I need straightforward math. You know what I'm saying? 30 days, 30 nights. I can follow that, you know? Right. But I don't know what we're doing now. And you remove something, and I don't know what that is. Mm-hmm. And so I think I hate when I feel like I'm in what I'm called to do, and I feel lost in that. Whoa. That's what I don't like.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no control over that,
because you
but
feel like,
it's crazy.
Okay, if this is what I'm called to do, then why is it so complicated?
Yes.
But I feel like even in the midst of, oh, this is what I'm called to do, I know obviously you will have times when things are not making sense. Things are like we don't know. Like you really probably just will be winging it. But even in the midst of, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, God is like, he might throw in a little obstacle here and there, because one, if you're called to do it, obviously you're going to be able to do it.
Yes.
But you also have to remain focused on him. So if you feel like, oh, I'm called to do it, I got this. God, like, psych.
Right.
I got this, and I gave it to you.
Yeah. And I think that's a great point, because I think sometimes I do forget that. Because in the midst of you starting anything, you take it to God. You praying all the time, you writing in your journal, and then the moment you like, all right, I got my first client, or I got this going on, I'm getting my phone calls, the girl coming by to get her hair done, whatever it is, and then all of a sudden, like, you on a high.
Yeah.
And you be like, man, you posting all your content, I got this. Not mentioning God, not one time. And
that's where you messed up.
Because he is a jealous.
Because, because even with, like, okay, with me teaching, I've mentioned how I never thought that I would be a teacher, but I've also mentioned how I've had so many jobs, and this is the only job where I felt like fulfilled, in a sense. Like I'm actually doing something good. Like I've always known that I wanted to. I feel like a lot of people may feel this way. I want to do something that helps people. Yeah. And maybe you don't feel that way, but whatever. But with teaching, I feel like I'm able to do that. Like obviously I'm teaching them. I'm helping them not only inside the classroom, but outside the classroom. Yeah. Like I'm trying to help these young people be better versions of themselves. Yes. You know, I know I'm only a 5th grade math teacher, but hey, I got a lot of wisdom to share, and these 5th graders gonna.
And that she does, which is very interesting, because even though as kids, when I don't understand why you don't like going to school, but then you play school at home.
It's different when I'm the teacher.
Yeah, see what I dealt with?
It's different.
Very interesting. But I swear I never thought you would be a school teacher. And then you didn't even go to school to be a teacher.
Right.
And here you are, licensed teacher in the state of Texas.
But
crazy.
With that's what I'm saying. That was what the trials and tribulations. Yes. Because I'm teaching, I'm like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I finally found something that I actually want to do. You know? Yeah. And now it's like, ooh, okay, God. Like you said, I thought we was on the same page here. Why is it so hard? It took me forever to get certified. I'm taking the test. I'm doing this. And also in the midst of that, I'm moving from state to state. Hey, look.
Living her best life.
I had stuff to do. But I also just feel like with me trying to find my way in the teaching space, it was hard. Like, yes, I feel fulfilled doing this. I actually enjoy it. But even some days just and even now that I am certified, it's like I still just be like, now that I'm certified, I'm also like, what's next? Over it now. I did all that to get certified. Yeah. I almost gave up. It was almost FTK, if you know what I mean. And I was like, you know what? I'm done with that test. I'm done with them kids. Forget it. It's just, it must not be for me. Yeah. But I was like, okay, I'm going to keep doing it. Finally, everything came to pass. It worked out. Yes. But even now, it's like, okay, I felt like I knew what I was doing, blah, 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 blah. But now, I don't know, because I'm not going to be no retired teacher. When we was growing up, our teachers was old and gray. They've been doing this since they was 20. Because Miss Gladney, what you doing, girl? So, that ain't me. And I know that, but it's just crazy because I feel like I finally found something that I could do long term. If you ask me, 5 to 6 years is long term for a career, because coming from me, 8-hour shift, right? Quit. 6 years. That is a
that was very run. And that was very interesting because I would have a job and I would be like, okay, and I'd be there for forever. I had the exact same job all throughout college. I worked at the gym. That was my job. Now I did different internships, but my job day in and day out, I stayed at the gym. So when you were like, I worked there yesterday, you just had to, we just got hired. What happened, sis?
Yesterday I was selling shoes at Journeys. Today I'm a host. At BJ's. Would you like a booth or a table? I just couldn't. And only thing, but I do miss them discounts for the shoe. Fall to the floor. If you know, you know. But
no, because I worked at Finish Line and I will write my name on the box.
Because they're mine.
Because don't sell those.
Wait till I get paid.
That part.
Coming home with me. But I also, in the process of, I became a teacher. I'm doing these things. I'm feeling fulfilled. I'm helping people. I'm touching people. Sometimes students still reach out hey, you remember me? I was in your second grade class. And I'm like, second grade is crazy. You're in middle school. Yeah. I ran into one of my kids at Cheddar's. Oh, he wasn't with me. I was by myself. And he was like, he's in high school. And he'd be like, oh, wow. Yeah. And he's like, well, granted, I taught him when he was 8th grade. But he's like, where have you been? I've been looking for, I go to McAdams and you're not there. And I'm like, oh, I'm right there no more.
Not even in the county. You
know how they got traveling nurses? Yeah. I'm a traveling teacher. I go from school to school, touch hearts and build kids up. And then I dip. Oh, no, that's not good, Lord, because the school's going to be like, don't hire her.
You're right, because she out here.
Look, my life circumstances just cause for me to have to dip.
But I think that's interesting, too, because you always feel like you're going to be in a certain space and doing something, and I feel like I commend you for being like, okay, this space no longer serves me, because we have, well, at least I did grow up in an era where it's like you stayed down for the job. They hired you. You are there for them. You don't leave them on a whim. You're going to give them the full 2 weeks notice. You're going to give them the whole plan you had about what you was going to do 6 months from now so they can pick up where you dropping them off at. And you was just like, yeah, that place no longer serves me, and this is going to be better for me, and this is where I'm going to find my growth. And I think I have to learn how to be more like that. But I'm also in a new phase of being my own boss. And that in itself comes with challenges, because I'm just like, I had to learn how to find my own insurance, how to get my own retirement. Things that your employer provided, it's like, yeah, no more, sis. You're on your own.
Give me that insurance.
Great.
Get your own.
Wait a minute, because my baby still needs to go to the doctor, and the dentist says she got a cavity.
Exactly.
So how we gonna pay for that? Because I'm not, is what I'm saying. And so it's just that part. And so it's just very hard. I mean, of course, I play sports all throughout, like middle school through high school. And so I felt like I would do that. And I actually was going to go to school for business because I thought I was good at math. And
that's what I went for.
Shout out to Mr. Purdue. Went to calculus and was like, nah, bro. Because y'all got way too many letters, way too many numbers, way too many signs.
They were already doing enough with the X, Y, M, B, whatever. They started throwing in Greek letters. I said, look.
I barely know English. Because where does the comma go?
I'm crying.
Do you put the comma in or do you not? Listen.
It depends on.
See what I'm talking about? Make it make sense. 2, 2, and 2. Which one am I talking about? You don't know until you hear the sentence.
If you texting me, you better know.
Because she will put, where's the other O?
Exactly. 2 T-O-O as in also. Anyway, I was just... I was going to say, even with you branching out on your own and going from working for someone and then working for yourself, that also, like, with this new, like, our generation, we in the same generation?
Okay, I think technically we are, but I always be like, I'm early 90s, she mid 90s. We are not the same.
She is not early 90s. You late 80s, baby.
I was born in 89, but I was raised in the early 90s.
Don't lie to the people.
I was born in 89, raised in the 90s.
I know, I'm just
which is also always crazy because they be like, where the 80 babies at? And I be clapping. And then they be like, you're 90. I'm like, 80.
Hey.
Don't
count me out.
Right? Because I'm here.
But I was going to say, with that, it's just like, we have, this generation is, I don't need to work for you. I can have my own business. Like, we will leave a job and work for ourselves and do these things. Or if we feel like, this job is not serving, like you say, for me, this job is not serving me, I gotta go. Like, or it's messing with my mental health. Like, even like with the teaching thing, I don't know if y'all know what's going on with HISD, but baby, they working us like a dog, okay? And they think because granted, they give you the pay for it, but even, look, I'm not even gonna get into all that y'all don't care, but it's just like your mental health is at the cost of all that other stuff, you know? Yeah. And a lot of people are like, are you going back to HISD? Granted, I'm not because I'm not. But other people that are not, okay, I'm just saying, moving, and they're like, okay, I need to go find another school district to work in because HISD, although they're giving me the money, they're giving me this, whatever, I'm able to take care of myself, you know. I hate going to work. And you know how hard it is as a teacher to hate going to work.
And dealing with kids.
Yeah, that's hard. So your mental health is really, so it's just like, I have this stability financially, but it's like, I still don't know what I want to do with myself because I value my mental health. I value, myself. Like, I don't feel like I should let a job bring me down. A lot of people, my best friend Kayla, she's a lawyer, very successful Black woman. Hey, and you, girl. And this is like when she's in working for a law firm and she feels like, oh no, you're not finna, calm it down. I gotta go. Yeah. And it works out for you in the end. And it may not be the smoothest, like we say, smoothest transition, but always putting yourself first, even in the midst of the unknown stages where you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what's about to happen. I felt like I was called to do something that didn't work out how I thought it would. What am I doing for real? Like, help me, nigga. So I don't know.
I wasn't ready for that part. But the one thing that did help me in transitioning through the unknown was that technically everything that I do is everything that I currently do in my own business, I was doing for someone else. The only difference now is that you don't have a marketing team. You don't have a boss to go talk to. I'm literally everybody, and that becomes overwhelming. And then you put out more money, and then you make little money, and then you be like, wait a minute, Linda, because the bills don't know that I'm making different money, because why they don't match? I feel like they should match. My bills should be based off my income, not based on what you think I'm using. Those bills. No. Listen, yes, you did. Listen, if I have a light bill, right, and you said, well, your lights was on, how you know I ain't got no job, so now I got to keep my lights on because I'm at the house. Match my income. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that if you decide to go get the Escalade versus the little Honda, no, that's your fault. You need to pay for the Escalade. Yeah. That's different. But I'm just saying, don't send me the large water bill. I need a coupon for groceries.
And water should be free.
Because you can't make it.
Because I just said I don't know what I'm doing.
Who out here?
Now I gotta pay for water.
Because you can't buy hydrogen at the store.
Right. How you gonna charge me for something you didn't even make?
That part. But we digress.
No, we digress. Yeah. So yeah, with the whole, I feel like even within the stage of like going back to the transition stuff, I got to get out this classroom. Like, me and my friends talk, and I'm like I'm going back to school, and like I said, y'all know I'm a teacher, but I don't like school. Like I said, I'm the teacher. I'm good at that part.
Yes, and that was very interesting. But I feel like that's also what we don't tend to remember, that that's a part of your testimony. Because I don't know what you're about. Well, I think I do know what you're possibly going back to school for if you choose to go back. But I feel like if that's the field that you choose to go into, how many other people, I think we talked about this before, how we always feel like, Lord, I know I'm the only one out of the millions and billions of people in the world. I'm the only one on this particular list dealing with this particular circumstance. And I really don't understand because I did everything right. Right. You know, and so I feel
it's
like...
hard being the strongest soldier.
On the front line.
I'm crying.
For way too long.
You can do it, soldier.
No.
Stand up, put your hat on, and let's
go. With my little armor on, the little internet could. But I can do it. But I feel like we forget that it could just be a form of us also having those to be our testimony to someone else. Because I just think, too, when we go back to, like, we didn't necessarily grow up in the church, but like we went to church, if y'all know what I mean. Yeah. So it's not like
I did a lock-in here and there.
Yeah, like don't ask me who my pastor was.
Bible study.
I went,
Bible school.
This pastor was there. I went over to this church. They had a home church, girl. It was at the College of the Man. Listen,
hey, no abundant life.
Listen, we went everywhere.
Oh, and if you, because I was told that I need to give context. Though those are churches in Lamarck. Yes, obviously. I'm gonna need y'all to keep up here. Yeah.
So I feel like in knowing that we have to sometimes redirect our own brains in the process of saying, oh, I don't know, but he knows. And so if we're going to say we fully trust him, then we have to be willing to, and I guess I'm sitting here talking to myself as I'm talking to you about what we already like, this is what I'm feeling. But it's just like, if you're going to say that you trust him, then trust him. Yeah. But don't trust him when you're starting something because you want him to give you something. Once he's like making the space and the room for these things to happen, sometimes that requires you to let go of people. Yeah. Sometimes that requires you to quit a job. Sometimes that requires you to get written up at work for some stuff you ain't even do.
Oh, it got personal.
It did get personal. It sure did. Baby, I got written up and it was shocking. I was bamboozled.
They got you.
They did, but I got the last laugh because what you're not about to do.
And matter of fact, I quit.
Peace out.
I'm crying. But yeah, I really, the whole I don't know thing, it's a constant thing. One day I feel like, I got this. You know, God said this is what it is. Yeah. This is what it's going to be. And then the next day it's like, God. Right. What are we doing for real? Yeah. And like you said, that's in those moments is when we're supposed to trust him the most. Yeah. And obviously once you get that vision, he gives you the ability to do all these things. It's so easy to be like, oh yeah, God's here. Yeah. But as soon as the light is a big blob of white, or the camera is not working, or it just shuts down in the middle of an episode anyway. Right. You're like, you know, ghetto. What's going on? I don't like this.
Right. But something interesting that you just said is like in the midst of everything, this is when you need to trust him the most. And I think, and this could just be me. Okay, bear with me. Let me get my thoughts on, right? You know, my thoughts be in my head when I said, I'd be like, ooh, wait a minute, it didn't come out the way I thought about it. But I think sometimes we know who God is, but we still put him on a level as humans. And I say that because if someone was close to you and you felt like you could trust them and they did something wrong to you, then you like, well, I can't trust nobody. So then you don't talk to God because you like, well, why would he let that person, betray me like that? And so I think sometimes in the beginning stages, we're like, oh, he's almighty. He is all things, because you want this so bad. And then when he gives you those things and then you realize all the stuff that has to come with being the thing that you're asking for, then you want to be like,
well, wait a minute.
Oh, no, you're not that great.
Be careful what you ask for.
Because you didn't.
Because with the big girl job comes the big girl problems and responsibilities.
Put the drawers on, wear them, okay?
Come on now.
Parachute.
Hanes,
Grannies,
Calvin Klein, whatever
you prefer.
Victoria and that secret she been keeping for years. Whatever it is, you better put them on and you better wear them. Make sure they clean.
No, for real.
But it is a struggle though, because it's like, but why?
Yeah.
And like you say, putting God in this earthly form
that he is definitely not.
But it's like, sometimes you have those moments of doubt where it's like, not of God, like, oh, please don't doubt God. I mean, I'm not to say that if you do, like, he thinks you're the worst person in the world, but that's not going to help your situation. If you don't know now, start doubting him is not going to help you.
Out of all people to start doubting, he's definitely not the one.
Right. But it's just a constant battle of like I literally have to wake up every day knowing that even if it doesn't go exactly how I wanted it to go. Yeah. Because we all come up with this plan in our head. And that's me. Because I'm going to write it down. And I want it done exactly like that. And if it don't go that way, I'm literally confused because I didn't write in a plan B right there. You know? Right. That was supposed to just go on to the next
part. Because why is it cold outside instead of sunny?
Right. Why am I spending my days off snowed in? Hey.
Ghetto.
But it's just... Shout out to Texas. Right. But it's the constant battle of literally waking up every day choosing, if this is what I want, this is what I have to do in order to get there. Yeah. It's not going to be the easiest thing in the world. So, for instance, if I say I want to grow closer to God, let's say for instance, like real life situation, I've always been on this journey with God, right? But obviously along the way, I continuously am finding new ways to make sure I keep, it's like a relationship with your boyfriend or whatever. Yeah. You got to keep it fresh and fun, funky and fresh, okay?
That part.
You have to, because once I'm like, I was reading this Bible, I'm reading it every day, y'all. Just reading it. Because it's like, I said that this is what I was going to do, but at some point along the way, I was like,
now we just
I'm not getting nothing out of it.
I'm making up names because we don't know how to pronounce it. Crazy word.
So I have to literally, so I started this new Bible study and it's like, okay, how am I now going to fit this into my schedule? My commute to work has become longer. I have this and this and that. And I could have just been like, oh, I'm going to have to find another way. Because my sleep is very dear to me.
It's very important.
But I had to make that decision of being like, if I want to become the best version of myself, and I know I can't do that without God. Yeah. You're going to have to wake up, Destiny. You just got to get up.
That part.
So I had to wake up an hour early because I'm like, I'm going to do this Bible study. I'm going to do it every single day. And not because, here's your teacher moment of the podcast, because I told you I'm wise. Don't just do it. Don't just, and I say this coming from love, out of love, but don't just do things like, wake up every morning reading the Bible because you're expecting God to do something. Yeah. In the midst of your I don't know season, or even if you're in a season where everything is just working out for you, that should be your foundation, because if things go right or things go wrong, who else am I supposed to depend on?
Yeah, because why you a 5 a.m. girly and you don't go to bed until 2 a.m.? Stop lying to yourself.
Right, do stuff that works for you. For you, obviously. Yes. I'm not telling you to wake up an hour early and do your Bible study.
But I feel like people are on this thing of like, I have to do it the way that it seems the hardest. Mm-hmm. Right? And I think for us, we're kind of getting into this space. It's like, why does it have to be hard though? Like, I'm not saying that we don't go through things in like we say, in the midst of our us not knowing what we're doing. But why am I about to make this more complicated for myself?
Right.
I think it's a good thing though that you said now waking up earlier is hard, right? Because those are things you want to do. But I also put it on the backs of, if you had a 5 a.m. flight, baby, you up. You catching the flight. You going to Cannes. You going to Tulum. Okay?
Exactly.
Knowing you ain't got
no
money.
And everything.
Lace front is laced.
Your boho braids to the knees. But you don't want to wake up.
But you don't want to wake up. Right?
Yeah.
So I think it's, instead of saying like, oh, I don't have time, it's like, no, you do have time. It's just going to require something else of you, right? Yeah. Because if homeboy wanted to sit on the phone with you and breathe, like you Helga off of Hey Arnold.
I'm crying.
That's exactly what you got asthma. That's exactly what you about to be doing. Yeah. And so I feel like it does help to hear those things. I know it's like, what don't we know? But I feel like as this episode is continuing, it's really just opening up a lot for me to say, I don't know, but I feel safe and secure in the space of the unknown.
Exactly.
Especially being, when I tell y'all I'm a Virgo to the T, anytime somebody reads something about a Virgo, and I'm more so what the Lord has called me to do, I am. But when people say this is what Virgos do, I'm like, that's me, and I love her because I am
stick beside
right. I am by the books. What it say? That's what we doing. Why you doing another way? I got the question for the answer for the answer. And baby, who don't understand? I don't. And what part? The whole thing. Go back to the beginning. I don't care.
Do it again.
All the way. And then I'm actually...
And don't do it that way, because obviously I didn't get it.
And do it 3 different ways, because if I get it on the test, I need to know I can maneuver it.
I'm crying.
I'm that person. Kinesthetic learner. Colors, write it out, say it out loud, all the things. But I feel like this conversation has opened up to being like, hey, you are so right. You don't know, because you're literally asking God, who am I? What is it that you have for me? Not... oh, I'm a Virgo and I'm a perfectionist and I like things done a particular way and I'm a kinesthetic learner, so let me do it
this way,
how I want to do it. Because that's like you said, that's exactly when he be like, oh, okay,
I got something for you. You're done.
Because he is a jokester.
Right, joke's on you.
And I be like, no,
silly
for
rabbit.
I'm like,
I was just playing.
You can't be for real. You can't take a joke.
But it's literally having to, like when you're giving up something because you're in this stage of, I don't know, that even if you have to give up something in the midst of that. So like with me waking up, even if like, I don't want to go to work every day. Who wants to do that? Some days I don't want to get up and work out. It don't have to be the biggest life-changing experiences. It could be your day-to-day life where you just feel like you're just going through the motions. Like, this is, okay, I do this every day. Like, don't want to do that.
Annoyed.
Right. But it's like you have to pick and choose what you're going to give your all into. And then, one, like we keep saying, you got it, God. Sorry, I'm going to say it again.
First and foremost.
If you ain't hear me the first time. But it's just like choosing every day. If I know what I'm doing, God gave me this vision, he didn't give me the blueprint of how we're going to get there. It's like literally somebody putting a blindfold on and you're just grabbing a hand and he like, come on. And I'm like, okay, I'm about to run into the wall, but all right.
Where's the hem of your gun?
Right. So it's just like literally trusting the process and sticking to that, because I can say with me waking up every day, doing my Bible study, doing what I know that's going to pour into destiny so I can be the best version of myself. If I have those days where it's like, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just winging it, whatever, I still have some form of security in a sense of knowing that I'm all right still. Like, I'm not just all over the place, like. So find something in your life that keeps you grounded is what I'm saying. Yeah,
and brings you that stability.
Yeah, for me, that's God. So it's like if I'm staying consistent in all the things, because even if days like with like the minute things of working out, some days it's like, I don't want to go do that. But then I tell myself, Destiny, after you go run on that Peloton and you and that little white girl getting it, I'm going to feel great.
Her friend.
She is so fun. She be like, you can do it. I be like, you think so, girl? Because you keep telling me to put the top, the incline up, and I'm tired.
Me and Kristen Ferguson, we be getting it. Okay?
But I do it because I know that those are the ways that I pour into Destiny. So you may not know, whatever. Focus, stay fixated on what you do know, what you can have control over, because things are gonna go wrong. Things are gonna, not go as planned, and trials and tribulations. The weapons they will be formed, but they will not prosper.
Amen.
So they're gonna come. Okay, nobody ever said life was just gonna, it was just going to happen exactly how you wanted it to happen. Because where's the fun in that? You got to throw in a little whirlwind every now and then. Keep you on your toes.
That part. But that's the whirlwind. I think of what we talking about. I feel like that's the unknown. And that's what we keep saying when we are like, I don't know. Yeah. Because it's just, I think everyone has something in them. Sometimes it's really like just taking a chance. But I think sometimes I feel like if God keeps putting you in the same situation, and we always sometimes want to blame God, but it's like, but you haven't learned anything, you haven't grown, you haven't made a change. So I think sometimes we're always looking for these outside people to do something different. Then it's like, oh, and then I can step in because I've been doing it right. Yeah, sometimes it's just like you. Maybe it's just you, or maybe God is like, whatever it is that I'm calling you to do, you're going to deal with these type of people or these type of circumstances all the time. So you need to learn how to deal with it and still stay true to who you are and who I've called you to be, because you're the one who's going to bring me to them. And I think sometimes we're always looking like and I know I'm like that. Like, I'm ordinary. Like, I'm just Brittany. I do fitness. I got 2 kids. I got a husband. Like, what are you going to do that all of a sudden I'm like touching somebody else? And I think also in this time and age,
it ain't on you, it's in you.
That part. It's like if we ain't on Beyonce level with it, it's like, well, it never happened. But I'm like, it's always those small time people that come through. Those are the people you remember. Yeah. Those are the people that shape and form you. Like, I love Beyonce. I went to the concert, right? But when I talk about my life, my mom and my dad, those are the people that have set my foundation. When I die, when I'm on my deathbed, God, my mom, my sister, my kids, my husband, those are the people that I'm discussing. No offense to Blue, but I don't give a damn if she care again or whoever she was on the Lion King, and I'm happy for her, of course, but it's just like, stop thinking that your life is so much smaller than someone else's because it's like they have a larger platform or they were able to do X, Y, and Z. God gave it to them to be able to do it, and they can withstand that, or is that the right word? Sustain. Sorry. Whatever that is. So be content with who you are and what He's called you to do, because I wish I could remember her name. If I get to it, I'll put it in the description or something. But I remember her saying that if you believe that God is everything, why don't you, like, she say, the fact that I woke up, right? We're always like, thank you, Lord, for waking me up to see another day. But she was like, He gives you the ability to breathe, to wake up, to talk to your kids, to have a cell phone to call. She said the moment she decided to say, hey, I put everything into Him, and also letting go of her kids, which is crazy to me, because I was like, what she letting go of her kids? Where the kids at? And she was just like, they're not mine. He blessed me to be able to form them, to bring them here, but they're His. Yeah. So I'm here to help guide them. So now when I pray for my kids, I'm more so of like, teach me what it is that I need to know and what it is that I need to give them to push them out to do what you've called them to do. Because I think my baby gonna be a track star. Why? Because she got long legs. I ran track. She's really fast. She likes to run. But then she's like, I don't want to run track, right? And I'm like, no, don't do that to
You're gonna run.
Why you do that to? And then I do plan on trying to get her to run. But I'm also just like, when I feel like I'm doing something that's out of character for me, instead of trying to fight this feeling of like, why would I say that? Or why would I? Now I feel like I'm being soft. Or I feel like she done tried to play me at 8. I'm just like, maybe that's what she needs. Because I don't want her to grow up and say, My mama didn't do what I needed her to do. So now you looking at outside places, not like I read the Bible with Brielle at night and she loves it, which is really great.
That's my girl.
Right? So we're starting those things now, and I'm like trying to foster not what I want of her, because I don't know what God has in store for her. That's going to be her journey and for her to figure out. But while she's in my care and the Lord gave her to me to care for, I feel like I also have to act on his behalf what I need to do for her.
I feel like once I changed my prayers from God, do this for me, God, make this happen, or whatever the case may be, and it was more so of like, whatever it is that I'm doing that's withholding this thing from happening for me, or whatever it is, like if my relationship is not going, or if I'm just in the wrong relationships, whatever it is that's in me that is attracting me to those relationships, remove it from me so that I can attract better things. So when even with the I don't know stages, and I'm going through all those different jobs, and why am I here? God, this is not a part of the plan. Like, I don't know what is happening to me. In hindsight now, I can look back and be like, I hated that job, but I learned how to communicate. You know, I hated being in a whole nother state by myself, but I learned how to depend on destiny, which I sucked at before that. You know, I always been like, I don't need nobody else, but it was more so like, because I felt like people didn't really care for me like that for real. So I was forced to act like I didn't care about people. But when I'm in a space where it's like I literally have only myself, I was able to really love Destiny for who I am. You know? So all those I don't know stages, all those stages of like, I did all of this and it just blew up in my face. What is happening? It helped me become the person that I am today. So those they sucked. It sucked real bad. I did not want to do that. Like she said, I'm on the front line fighting for my life, and I don't like it. But it helped me to be the Destiny that I am today. So even with, I mentioned in a previous episode of like, I was at one point in my life praying for a husband. Stop doing that, because I don't want to be. I'm first of all, I'm a wife, not because I have a husband one day, but because that's what God instilled in me. That's just what it is. So I don't have to go out and do all these things, but only thing that I can control is destiny. So once I started pouring more into myself and asking God to remove certain things that was withholding me from receiving all the great things that I do have now, and all the many great things that are to come, life just started going up for you, girl. Because it's like I sit here all day. Why me? Why me? Why is this not happening? It's like you're crying out. Exactly. It's like you're crying out to God for him to fix this thing when you're just sitting there waiting on him to fix it when you need to do something. And
I just want to clear something up. We're not saying like in the midst of not knowing or wanting to move forward in something that you can't ask God for certain things. Right? But most of the time, the problem isn't the problem you're in. Sometimes it's just like, sit back for a second. Sit back, take a breather, talk to him, let him guide you. And I think we're like, things need to happen now. And it's like, if you just sit back and listen, that smallest thing that seemed odd, that dream that you had where you was like, why the hell was a chicken in there? Because I know I had dreams like, and I would call a friend. Listen, because that was weird. And 9 times out of 10, somebody will say, you know what, X, Y, Z. And then all of a sudden, I'll just, like, my mind just starts going. And then I'm like, that's exactly what that is. You know, and they hadn't even said what it is. I just feel like I'm getting and I'm just getting my confirmations, and now I'm moving differently. And so, but that it starts with you. If you don't have a pure heart and you're not asking him to come in to fix that and to deal with you, it doesn't matter who comes across you. The best person, the worst person, one season I like her, one season I don't. It don't matter, because you're always going to be finding something to nitpick at. You're going to find something that's wrong, and you're not going to feel secure or at peace. So I feel like now that we are at peace in the midst of the unknown, I'm like, you know what?
You know what? This stuff is going bad around me, but hey, I'm good.
I'm good. Yeah.
And not to say like I still don't have shortcomings. I still don't have things that I need to fix to be a better version of myself, not only for myself, but the people around me. But I know that I'm in the right direction, way better direction than I was before.
But you're not going to break down. Yeah. You're not going to stop.
Because back then, things start going wrong, and I'm just like, you know what? Forget it. Because I ain't got time.
That's me.
So we just gonna try something else. Try something else. That blows up in your face too. So it's like at some point, I'm the common denominator in all this stuff happening.
Yeah.
To me, around me, whatever the case may be. I had to look within to change, because I'm not perfect. So obviously I had to fix what was wrong with Destiny first. Yeah. And then everything else just came after.
Amen.
Once we just,
Yeah. Because this was a word. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
But it was also a word for me today.
Yeah, we're always taking our own advice.
Yeah, I literally feel like through the conversation, it just kept unraveling the things that I felt. And when we do our conversations, do we come with a topic in mind? For sure, because we don't want to get on here and just start rambling to y'all. Y'all be like, they don't even know they're done. Yeah, but I do feel like the conversations are so real in the sense that to me, I'm like, I really don't know. I have no idea. And the more you're sharing your stories, and the more I'm like, oh, dang, and that made this process some stuff that I was thinking about last night.
That's literally what a podcast is, right? I feel like. We literally just sit here and be like, we finna talk about, we literally
the
like,
struggle that was in the greatness. Know. Yeah.
And even sometimes we write the topic down and we're like, what we meant by that? Like in that moment, we was cooking. We gonna talk about this. And then the day comes and we need to talk about it, like today. And it was like, the topic said episode 7. I still don't know, and we sitting here looking like I really don't know. Because what did I mean by that?
Right.
But when you sit down and really just sit, like it just flows. It just flows. We bounce off each other.
Yeah, and it's exactly what we needed. And I think that comes back to everything we were just talking about. Let God just work in you. And those things will reveal themselves and they'll show you. And so I guess I'm going to go straight into what I'm done with. Okay. With this one. And I think it's being okay with the unknown. You know? So I'm done with being afraid of the unknown. Yeah. I feel like based on this conversation and how I feel, I want to take this feeling with me. It's not saying that, like Destiny was saying, that I'm not going to be scared, that things won't come up, then I go, oh crap. Yeah. But I'm not going to let that take me away from moving forward. I heard this saying that said, I'm okay with failing as long as I'm failing forward. Mm-hmm. And I like that because we always out here like, I work, but you could just be doing stuff to be doing stuff. What is it that you're working for? Mm-hmm. And is it things that actually fulfill you, or you just out here to say you doing it just to say you doing it? Right. I'm not doing nothing.
Because to be afraid of rejection or failure is basically saying that you feel like you just got it all figured out. Yeah. If you just got it all figured out, you wouldn't be failing.
And you ain't growing no more.
Right. So rejection, one thing I've also learned, like within rejection or failure or things just not going that way, that could also be God's way of protecting you from something that you just thought that you just needed so bad. You don't need it.
So if you're on these Texas highways and you late to work, just be late, sis. Oh, baby. May have been blocking you from a wreck.
I'm cool with the traffic on the way to work.
Just chill when we get home.
It's the traffic I'm trying to get home.
Put on 97 on the box and let them get you there.
That's where you're supposed to be in that moment. And that's one thing that Corey taught me, my boyfriend Corey. He taught me how sometimes I would do that. Like, oh my gosh, like move. Like, he'd be like, maybe that's where you're supposed to be right now. Calm down. And I'm just like, but I'm about to be late. Right. And then he'd be like, you don't know if it's a wreck down the road. Right. Or if somebody was going to speed past you and then you would have been the car that they hit. You don't know. So learn to just relax. Yeah. So I guess that's what I need to be done with. Of always feeling like I said, I'm this person that write everything down. I want it to happen like this. And I need it now. I need it right when I said I wanted it to happen. Yeah. And letting go of that mindset of just being like, whatever is supposed to happen is going to happen. It may not happen on my time. It may not happen when I want it, how I want it, where I want it, whatever the case may be. But I just knowing and believing that it's going to happen. Yes. So releasing that, I mean, not to say don't have a plan, just wing life. I'm not saying wing life. Yes, have a plan. Yes, have some sense of direction of where you want to go. Mm-hmm. But also releasing the fact of like, even if it don't go exactly how I wanted it to go, I'm good. Yeah. Like, sit in the traffic, girl. Calm down. Because what you going to do? Walk?
Matter of fact, call the person that called you that y'all been playing phone tag. Give them a call. I love to talk to people because when I get home, I'm not answering my phone. I got stuff to do.
I will talk to you until I get in the driveway. All right, girl. It was nice talking to you. Gotta go.
Gots to go. I'm busy. Just get out the car, got to get my purse.
Right. I'm done with talking to you. But talk to you tomorrow, girl. Next time traffic happens.
But yeah, I think that's something good to be done with. Yeah. I think that's good.
Because I don't want to say I suck at that, but it is something that I struggle with where Corey is literally telling me, relax.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. You're gonna get there.
It's gonna be okay.
And then I sometimes, which is why we're saying we get great advice and then we take the great advice, But like even sometimes he find himself road rage. I said, oh no, not Mr. God is protecting you. Calm it down. Calm it down. Don't do that. But it's also good to just have people in your life where you can, I'm gonna slip up and I'm gonna mess. I'm sitting here saying I'm done with that, but obviously I could leave out of here today and somebody in my way, and here I go. Cause move, because
I know you see me.
It's a constant journey of just redirecting. You're gonna mess up. Stuff is gonna go wrong. You're not gonna get it perfect every single time. But in the midst of you trying to figure it out because you don't know, you're not gonna know everything.
And that's okay.
Just relax. Woosah. 3 deep breaths.
There you go.
Calm down.
I think this is a great episode. Thanks for the combo.
You're welcome, girl.
Big Desto.
But yes, this is fun. So yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe, like, and we'll be back with another episode.
Peace.
I'm learning how to do it. I messed up. Oh, shoot. How'd it go? Peace sign.
These 2 fingers, girl. See y'all in the next episode. See you next week at 7 on Thursday for episode 8. I need to get my beats together. I'm a little
rusty.
But
rusty. We was up late.
Bye, y'all, because we was. And I don't like being up late. But bye, y'all.
Deuces.
Yay!